recordings, and that'll look something like this. Inside that, you're going to open Ray Optics, and inside Ray Optics, you're going to go for support, 3 year. Okay, you're going to go for that folder. Inside that folder, you'll have the previous classes lecture, and you can also find all lectures from this point forward as well. Okay, they'll be named as Ray Optics 2, 3, and so on. That's where you have the lecture recordings. The second link in that message is the link to your lecture notes. When you open the folder, it's going to look like this. So when you open Ray Optics, you're going to find another folder with Ray Optics, and then 3 other folders with doubts. All right. So since you're the support batch, your doubts, this point forward, we'll be discussing in that. जो भी booklet का discussion जो भी होगा, next time onwards we'll do that. So that will all be filled over here, and your lecture notes are in this. Okay, this is where you can access them. All right. So if you missed the previous lecture, please, as soon as possible, watch that lecture recording. All right. Yeah. Good evening, guys. All right. So let's try to proceed from where we left off. All right. Ketang, intro to what? Previous lecture में तो किया था मैंने. By the way, guys, did I introduce myself in the previous lecture? Or I didn't introduce myself, is it? Okay, so, all right, so my name's Kevin. Okay, not to the new students. Who are the new students? They're the ones joining today. Yeah, they were there for the previous lecture as well. You mean support 2 and 3K? Achha, achha, okay. All right, so guys, those who don't know, my name's Kevin, and okay, got it. All right, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Kevin Daniel. I teach physics. I've been teaching physics for the last 3 years with PACE. Yeah, my all India rank was 92 when I gave my IIT JEE, and I topped Pune. I studied from IIT Bombay, did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. That's my story. Apart from that, I like playing music. And one of the reasons I've taken this job is I get a lot of time to in man's basically to have a nice family life and spend some time learning music as well. So that's my story. All right. With that, I'll not at the moment. Maybe sometime later. My branch was mechanical engineering. I've picked teaching because I like teaching. It's fun. The money is good. Gives me time in my hand. And okay, PACE branch. I live in Powai, so I normally teach in Powai and in Thane. Baki jo bhi tips वगैरह हैं, we can talk after class. All right. So let's just continue from where we left off. The previous class we were looking at plane mirrors, right? Or everything else irrelevant to what we're studying today. Let's discuss that later. All right. So we're going to continue from where we left off. We were looking at plane mirrors, and we discussed the number of images formed when a particular object is placed between 2 mirrors. We also, what else we saw in the previous class? I think we saw that question, minimum length of mirror required. Where's the question, Dekha? With that, one last question that we can consider before leaving plane mirrors is this aspect. So imagine this. you have an incident ray which strikes this mirror and then leaves it in this direction. And the question asked is, if the mirror is rotated about this point through an angle theta, by how much will the reflected ray rotate? All right, you're not moving the incident ray. By how much will the reflected ray rotate? That's the question. You're rotating the mirror through an angle theta. By how much will the reflected ray rotate? Ayush, can you clarify what was your message about? That's not an answer to the question. Answers to this question is, some are saying it'll rotate by theta. Some are saying it'll rotate through 2 theta, theta by 2. Some are saying alpha minus theta. These all seem like guesses. Are you? Theta isn't given. You'll find your answer in terms of theta. All right. Yes, Parshav. Some other day, definitely. All right. So 2 theta is the answer. Kaise? Ab dekho. What happens is, when you rotate the mirror, if you're rotating the mirror through an angle theta, your normal also rotates through an angle theta. So when you rotate the mirror through an angle theta, your normal also rotates through an angle theta. Now, because your normal is rotated through angle theta, your angle of incidence, जो पहले alpha था, that has decreased to alpha minus theta. Now, because your angle of incidence has decreased to alpha minus theta, your angle of reflection will also decrease to alpha minus theta. So if you have a look at that, this total angle is 2 alpha minus 2 theta, whereas this total angle is 2 theta. Sorry, is 2 alpha. So therefore, ये बचा हुआ angle 2 theta होगा. See, I'll just repeat that again. So this is the original ray. This is the reflected ray. This is your mirror. I'm repeating again. Have a look. When I rotate my mirror through an angle theta, when I rotate the mirror through an angle theta, the normal gets rotated through an angle theta. Now, when that happens, your angle of incidence, which was earlier alpha, now decreases to alpha minus theta. And as a result, your angle of reflection also decreases to alpha minus theta. See? Now, the question was, the reflected ray कितना rotate होता है? Simple. Reflected ray कितना rotate होता है? तो पहले reflected ray कितना angle बना रहा था incident ray के साथ? 2 alpha बना रहा था. बाद में reflected ray कितना angle बना रहा है incident ray के साथ? 2 alpha minus 2 theta बना रहा है. पहले 2 alpha बना रहा था, अब 2 alpha minus 2 theta बना रहा है. पहले 2 alpha बना रहा था, अब 2 alpha minus 2 theta बना रहा है. तो फिर ये कितना रोटेट हो गया है? 2 theta रोटेट हुआ है. ठीक है, कितना रोटेट हुआ है? 2 theta रोटेट हुआ है. इनफैक्ट वेयर इज दिस 2 theta कमिंग फ्रॉम? एक नॉर्मल रोटेट होने के कारण रिफ्लेक्टेड रे रोटेट हो रहा है, तो एक तो थीटा नॉर्मल के साथ साथ आ रहा है, और एक और थीटा इसलिए आ रहा है क्योंकि इंसिडेंट एंगल ही थीटा से कम हो गया, तो रिफ्लेक्टेड एंगल भी थीटा से कम होना चाहिए. Got that? That's why this is going to rotate by 2 theta. We are taking with respect to the incident ray because the incident ray is fixed. You'll find it with respect to any fixed line. The incident ray is fixed. That's the one that's not rotating. 2 theta कैसा है वापस देख लो. ये पुराना नॉर्मल, ठीक है, पुराना नॉर्मल के साथ इंसिडेंट रे का एंगल अल्फा, रिफ्लेक्टेड रे का एंगल अल्फा. तो रिफ्लेक्टेड रे पहले कितना एंगल बना रहा है? 2 अल्फा बना रहा है, ठीक है. अब देखो वापस, अब एन डैश ये हो गया नया नॉर्मल. नया नॉर्मल के साथ एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस अल्फा माइनस थीटा हो गया, तो एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन भी अल्फा माइनस, एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन भी अल्फा माइनस थीटा होना चाहिए. देयरफॉर कुल मिलके अब ये वर्टिकल लाइन के साथ रिफ्लेक्टेड रे कितना एंगल बना रहा है? कुल मिलके 2 अल्फा माइनस थीटा बना रहा है. और ये कितना बना रहा है? ये 2 अल्फा बना रहा है. तो ये 2 अल्फा माइनस 2 थीटा और ये 2 अल्फा बना रहा है. सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस इन द एंगल्स? 2 थीटा. समझ में आया? Got it? So remember this, whenever you rotate the mirror through some angle, the reflected ray always rotates through double of the angle. The reflected ray always rotates through twice the angle. क्यों हो रहा है twice? एक नॉर्मल रोटेट हो रहा है ना, तो नॉर्मल घूम रहा है तो रिफ्लेक्टेड रे उसके साथ साथ घूमेगा. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस थीटा से कम हो रहा है, तो एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन भी थीटा से कम हो रहा है. तो एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन थीटा से कम हो रहा है, तो हेंस ये नॉर्मल के डायरेक्शन में और थीटा घूमेगा. गॉट इट? This orange line is alpha minus theta, just like this. Makes sense, guys? If you didn't get it, let me know. Manas, angle of incidence is alpha minus theta, so angle of reflection will also be alpha minus theta. This is the new reflected ray. That's the incident ray. Okay, I'll explain once more. Cool. So have a look at this. All right, so let's say this is your mirror, and let's say that's your incident ray. All right, and this is your reflected ray. Okay, so let's say this angle is 45 degrees. Okay, let's say this angle is 45 degrees. एक बार यहाँ से देख लो, then I'll show the question once again. सवाल इतना है कि मैं मिरर को घुमा रहा हूं, ठीक है, मिरर को घुमाने वाला हूं. मिरर को घुमाने के कारण, that's my normal by the way, ठीक है, this is my reflected ray. तो मिरर को घुमाने के कारण मुझे देखना है कि रिफ्लेक्टेड रे कितना घूम रहा है. अब if I rotate the mirror through let's say 15 degrees, ठीक है, मिरर को कितने से घुमाया? 15 डिग्री से घुमाया मान लो. If I rotate this through 15 degrees, first of all, do you agree कि नॉर्मल, नया नॉर्मल 15 डिग्रीज उस तरफ हो जाएगा? ठीक है, तो एक तो वो हो गया कि नॉर्मल 15 डिग्रीज उस तरफ हो गया. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट ये इंसिडेंट एंगल 45 से कम होके कितना हो गया? 30 डिग्री कम हो गया. So because your incidence is reduced by 15, your angle of reflection should also reduced by 15, है ना? So now your reflected ray will be in this direction, and your reflected ray with the new normal will make an angle of 30 degrees. Your reflected ray with the new normal will make an angle of 30 degrees. All right. Now, देखो कुल मिलके कितना रोटेट हुआ है. या यू कैन रिमेंबर इट एज अ लॉ. कुल मिलके कितना रोटेट हुआ है? ये 30, मतलब अब वो वर्टिकल लाइन के साथ क्या एंगल बना रहा है? अब वो वर्टिकल लाइन के साथ 30 + 30 60, बचा हुआ एंगल 30 डिग्री बना रहा है. हमने मिरर कितने से रोटेट किया? मिरर को 15 डिग्री से रोटेट किया, और ये रिफ्लेक्टेड रे 30 डिग्री से रोटेट हुआ. एंड इन अ वे क्यों हुआ? एक तो नॉर्मल खुद 15 से रोटेट हो रहा है, इसलिए ये 15 से रोटेट हुआ. ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस 15 से कम हुआ, जिसके कारण एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन 15 से कम हुआ, जिसके कारण ये 15 डिग्री नॉर्मल के पास गया. तो दैट्स द डबल इफेक्ट. पहले तो नॉर्मल खुद 15 से मूव हो रहा है, और ये 15 डिग्री और नॉर्मल के पास जा रहा है. Alright, so those who find it very logical, please remember it. Please remember the logic. Those who feel they may forget logic and all that, I don't know. You want to memorize it, memorize it. Alright, but I hope it made sense. ठीक है. इन कंक्लूजन क्या है? 15 डिग्री से अगर तुमने मिरर को रोटेट किया, तो रिफ्लेक्टेड रे 30 डिग्री से रोटेट होगा. ट्वाइस द अमाउंट रोटेट होगा. क्यों होगा? थोड़ा लॉजिकली देखो. एक है कि नॉर्मल खुद 15 से रोटेट हो रहा है, तो नॉर्मल के साथ साथ रिफ्लेक्टेड रे भी 15 डिग्री घूमना चाहिए, है ना? उसके ऊपर क्या हो गया? एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन कम हो रहा है. कितने से कम हो रहा है? 15 डिग्री से कम हो रहा है. अगर रिफ्लेक्शन 15 डिग्री से कम हो रहा है, मतलब तुम्हारा रिफ्लेक्टेड रे 15 डिग्री और आ रहा है नॉर्मल का. तो एक तो नॉर्मल के साथ साथ 15 डिग्री रोटेट हुआ, और फिर 15 डिग्री और नॉर्मल के पास गया. कुल मिलके 2 times 15 degrees रोटेट हुआ. Got that? Whoever asked me to repeat. All right, cool. Thank you. All right, fine. Now, so just remember that, yeah? And I think it's quite logical. Have a look at this diagram again. Or if you still didn't get it, just ask me after class. I'll explain that again. Okay? I think most of the students got it. Those are still stuck. Please, एक बार class के बाद वापस पूछ लो. I'll show that again. All right. Okay. Angle of deviation is the angle between the incident ray and the final ray. Just remember this term. Angle between the incident ray and the final ray. But इसमें क्या है? Angle of deviation deals with, just a second. All right, sorry. Yeah. So angle of deviation is the angle between the incident ray and the final ray. All right. But while measuring this angle, please remember to treat the rays as vectors. Join their tails while measuring the angle. देखो deviation का मतलब क्या होता है? कितना rotate हुआ original direction से. So imagine this ray bouncing off this mirror, reflecting off this mirror. Imagine angle of incidence is 30 degrees. Imagine angle of reflection, of course, then will also be 30 degrees. Is situation में what should be the angle of deviation? Would you say it is 60 degrees? Or would you say it's 120 degrees? You would say it's 120. Very nice. क्यों? You need to see ये rotate कितना हो रहा है original direction से. तो इसका original direction was that. but it has rotated from its original direction through an angle of 120 degrees. So angle of deviation is 120 degrees. How much it rotates is the angle of deviation. How much it rotates with respect to its original direction is the angle of deviation. All right. So another way you can do it is you can find the angle between these two directions, provided you do it the way you would do for a vector. Vector में कैसे निकालते हैं angle between vectors? You join their tails. So you shift this guy ahead, put it over here, then look at this over here, and then you find the angle between them. As simple as that. Just the way you would do for vectors. The angle between two vectors, these two vectors would be 120. वैसा ही the angle between these two directions is also 120 degrees. That will give you the angle that this vector, that this line has rotated. See the angle that this ray has rotated. That will give you angle of deviation. समझ में आ गया? So given angle of incidence, you can easily find angle of deviation. All right. Okay. Now with this, we are going to slowly enter the world of spherical mirrors. So let's see what the definition is. Spherical mirror is a mirror which is of course not flat. In fact, a spherical mirror is a mirror cut out of a large hollow sphere. So spherical mirrors are actually part of a bigger sphere. All right, simple. These mirrors are of two types based on which surface is polished. All right, what are the two types? One is a concave mirror and the other is a convex mirror. Now you need to hold on to some logic to remember which is which. It's up to you how you want to remember them, but you have to be confident that you will never get confused between the two. All right, so the way I remember this is, mirror देखते वक्त अगर मुझे cave दिखता है, then that's a concave mirror. That's how I remember it. Okay? When you look towards it, if you see a cave, that mirror will be concave. On this side, cave, cavity, you see it go inwards, right? So while looking in the direction of the mirror, I see a cavity, I see this go inwards. So that will be my concave mirror. All right. Whereas if I see a bulge, if I don't see a cave, it's going to be my convex mirror. Okay? Whichever logic works for you, as long as it helps you remember the name and as long as you never get confused ever again. ठीक है? समझ में आया? Which is going to be concave, which is going to be convex. Concave mirror को देखते वक्त ऐसा एक cavity दिखेगा, अंदर की तरफ mirror जाएगा, cave दिखेगा. Whereas convex के केस में एक bulge दिखेगा. Simple. Any doubts in this? No doubts. Great. All right. Okay, cool. Thanks. Now, some more definitions. All right. So let's see these definitions. Center of curvature. The center of curvature is what? It is the center of the sphere of which this mirror was a part. Okay. So this mirror, as we are saying, these are all spherical mirrors. So they are part of some bigger sphere. वो sphere का center जिधर भी होगा, that is going to be your center of curvature. As we'll see, that's an important point for the mirror. Radius of curvature, same definition. It is the radius of the sphere of which this mirror was a part. So again, all these mirrors are made up of bigger spheres. है ना? So whenever you see a mirror, उसका radius of curvature क्या है? ये mirror जो sphere का part था, उस sphere का radius will give you ये mirror का radius of curvature. And some of you are saying some things ki this R is twice of F and all that. All right, great that you know that. But of course, that's something we're going to see a little ahead. Filal, this is your radius of curvature. One thing I want you guys to be clear of and never get confused. The bigger the bulge you see, the smaller the radius. See it? It seems contrary at first, but it's not really. It's quite logical. Bigger the bulge, smaller the radius. Don't ever confuse between them. है ना? क्यों? बड़ा bulge का circle छोटा होगा. Bulge meaning this curve. The sharper the curve, you see a mirror like this, like these two blue mirrors that I've drawn. You see a mirror with a very sharp curve, and you see mirror with a gradual curve or a smaller bulge. Which will have bigger radius? Naturally, the one with a less gradual curve. The one with the smaller bulge will have a bigger radius because uska center dur hoga. Whereas the one with the bigger bulge will actually have a smaller radius. Kyun? Center wahi pe. Alright, so we are comparing two mirrors of the same size. Only one looks more curved than the other. So the more steep the curve, the smaller the radius. And the less steep the curve, the bigger the radius. Got it? Quite simple. In fact, when there is no curve at all, your radius of curvature should be how much for a plane mirror? Should it be 0? Should it be infinity? A lot of you have a hunch it should be one extreme, but should it be 0? Should be infinity. Great. So majority of the answers are saying infinity. Indeed, जितना कम curvature है ना, जितना कम bulge, उतना ज़्यादा radius. In fact, if there is no bulge at all, if there's no curvature, if it's flat, we will say radius of curvature is infinite. Right? In fact, this is in fact also the case with the earth. The ground we see around us looks flat. ये देख लो, the ground we see around us looks flat. सुन लो तो सही. The ground we see around us looks flat. But is its radius of curvature 0? Absolutely not. It's part of a bigger sphere जिसका radius is the radius of the earth. तो ये flat ground का radius of curvature is actually very, very large. And that too, the ground is not perfectly flat because it's part of a sphere. When I talk about a plane mirror, when I talk about a perfect line, what we will say? We will say uska radius of curvature infinitely large hai. जितना flat होते जाएगा उतना बड़ा radius होगा. This straight line can be imagined to be a part of a very, very, very large sphere. समझ में आया? All right. कोई पूछ, ये समझ में आया? हाँ, infinite radius will be for a plane mirror. कोई पूछ रहा है zero radius बहुत pointless है, but just to show you that zero radius of curvature के लिए imagine a very small circle with very, 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 very small radius of curvature. If you keep reducing the radius, what are you going to be left with? You're going to be left with a point. So theoretically speaking, zero radius of curvature will be for a point. All right, but that is practically of no use. No one's going to ever make that statement. A point, any point object will have zero radius of curvature. See? But that's a very pointless statement. कोई ऐसा सवाल पूछेगा नहीं. Line, that is of more use to us. Line का radius of curvature is going to be infinitely large. अच्छा, where are we? 17, 18, 19, 20. Sorry. ठीक है guys. अच्छा, one last time, जिसको समझ में नहीं आया, ये line होगा क्या? Line would actually be, if you zoom out, it would seem to be part of, you can say it's part of a very, 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 very large circle. इसको जितना फ्लैट करते जाओगे उतना लार्ज तुम्हारा सर्कल होते जाएगा. अब समझ में आया? Why it can be considered, a straight line can be considered to be part of a very, very large circle. You're going to need this idea in circular motion as well. ठीक है, उधर भी आएगा. Similarly, ठीक, similarly, so we are not comparing the height actually. ठीक है, radius of curvature depends on the shape of this curve. What we are saying is, if you have a very steep curve, then a steep curve, we're comparing two of the same height. All right. So if you have a very steep curve, your radius is going to be smaller. And if you have a very gradual curve, your radius is naturally going to be bigger. I think those diagrams are quite self-explanatory. I think it's quite clear. Bigger the bulge just means ki sharper the curve, radius or chota hoga. All right, cool. All right. Now, some more definitions. All right. So the next one is pole. Pole is defined as the geometric center of the mirror surface. All right. Pole is defined as the geometric center of the mirror surface. All right. So if this is your mirror, this central point over there is going to be called the pole of the mirror. See? The point at the exact center of the mirror, that's the pole of the mirror. Fir principal axis. Principal axis, it is the line joining the pole and the center of curvature. So in your mirror, you will have this as your pole. You'll have your center somewhere over here. Yeah, you can imagine this to be part of a bigger sphere like this. So center kahin na kahin right pe hone wala hai is mirror ke liye. And then your principal axis is the line joining the pole and the center of curvature. And it's a line, so it extends all the way in both directions. That green line over there is called your principal axis. Short mein PA likha hai maine. That green line is called your principal axis. So far, is everyone clear with the first 3 points in this diagram? Pole, center, and principal axis. Very simple stuff. All right. The next term is paraxial rays. All right. So this is something to watch out for. I've seen so many students who don't read their notes, forget what this means, and they confuse this word with parallel. Paraxial has nothing to do with the word parallel. Paraxial rays ka definition sun lo. Paraxial rays are rays passing close to the principal axis. Paraxial rays are rays making small angles with the principal axis. That is a paraxial ray. A ray passing close to the principal axis, making a very small angle with the principal axis. All right. So in this diagram, I'm just showing a paraxial ray. It's a ray which is making a very small angle with the principal axis. All right. And what is the significance of it? You're going to see in our derivations a little ahead. All that we are going to derive in this chapter, most of the formulas that we are going to derive in this chapter is only going to be valid for paraxial rays. All right, so therefore, it's a key idea that you know what paraxial rays are. Some of you are asking how small the angle is. Now, some textbook may have set it as 8 degrees and all of that. That is absolutely not important. No one's going to ever ask you how small the angle is. It's as simple. Jitna angle chota rahega, utna accurate formula rahega. Jitna chota nahi rahega, utna kam accurate formula hoga. So nobody is going to ask you kitna angle tak hona chahiye. But what you will do is, in this entire chapter, we will in most cases assume that our rays are paraxial. Okay, wherever you're expected to use the formula, you will have to just assume the rays are paraxial. Agar paraxial nahi hai, things get very complicated, and that's not even in our syllabus. Our syllabus has certain formulas which are valid only when the rays are very close to the axis, and your rays will always be given very close. I mean, you will always be asked questions only for paraxial rays. Okay? So you don't even have to worry about cases when it's not paraxial. But ये derivation के वक्त ही देखेंगे कि ये result कैसे influence करता है formula को. नहीं, this is an example right in front of your eyes. This ray is making a very small angle with the principal axis. So that's a paraxial ray. Any ray which is very close to the principal axis or making a very small angle to it is called a paraxial ray. That's it. It's not rocket science. That's the definition. Look at the definition. Ray passing close to the principal axis, making small angles with it. Any doubt in this? Both sides. So this is one individual ray. That's another paraxial ray. This is another paraxial ray passing along the axis itself. This is another paraxial ray. As long as it's close to the axis, making a small angle, that's it. There is no defined value for the small angle. No one's going to ask you a question like that. You may have learned from somewhere 8 degrees and all of that. JEE is not going to ask you a petty question like that. Okay? Harsh, that's a term which will come a little later. We'll see that term, but that'll again appear a little later. We'll see all terms in there in due time. Yeah, any ray passing through the principal axis, any ray passing through the principal axis will be paraxial ray, of course. That's the best paraxial ray. जो axis के along ही जा रहा है वो तो best है, वो तो zero angle बना रहा है, smallest possible angle बना रहा है. So any ray passing through the axis will also be a paraxial ray. So what is important is, सार्थक, good question. सार्थक बोल रहा है कि जितना भी छोटा एंगल बनाएगा एक पॉइंट के बाद वो बहुत दूर जाएगा paraxial ray से. So what is relevant is it strikes this mirror. So when it's close to the mirror, when it reaches the mirror, it's reasonably close to the principal axis. तो एंगल भी छोटा होना चाहिए एंड मिरर को हिट करते वक्त सेंटर के पास में होना चाहिए, ज्यादा दूर नहीं होना चाहिए. Should not be very, very large. See, and this is something we'll just assume all the time. Yeah, small and large is with comparison to the radius of curvature. Okay. All right. So I'll proceed now. Okay. And we'll come back to that point a little later as well while deriving the formula. Now, focus. What is a focus? So maybe in school you must have learned something as first focus and second focus. I want you to just throw those definitions aside. For us, focus is just one thing. And I think this is technically what you guys might have learned as the second focus. For us, focus is just one thing. What is the focus? Is the point where rays incident parallel to the principal axis appear to converge to or diverge from after reflection. In other words, a simpler definition is the point where the image is formed for rays incident parallel to the principal axis. Is the point where the image is formed for rays incident parallel to the principal axis. So in the case of a concave mirror, I'll come to that, Gurdev. In the case of a concave mirror, these are your incident rays parallel to the principal axis. And after reflection, they converge at some point like this. And naturally, based on how this mirror looks, those rays are going to bend in this direction and they'll converge somewhere over here. Wherever these parallel rays converge, most probably there'll be nothing you've learned in your previous classes. Okay. So wherever these parallel rays converge, that point is going to be called your focus. Samajh mein aaya? I'll first finish what I'm saying, then I'll clarify it out. ये समझ में आया? Similarly, convex के भी केस में देख लो. Convex के केस में these rays after bouncing off this mirror, they're going to move in this direction. So they don't meet in reality. But when you extend these rays, they appear to be diverging from that point over there. Then that point becomes your focus for a convex mirror. So for a concave mirror, you can find that focus is formed in front of the mirror. Concave mirror के केस में focus आगे बनता है, mirror के आगे, real side में बनता है. Whereas for a convex mirror, focus mirror के पीछे बनता है. Clear? ठीक है? And कोई focus को real and virtual नहीं बोलता है. Nobody calls a focus real or virtual. Focus is just an important point for the mirror. So nobody is calling the focus real or virtual. Rather हम क्या बोलेंगे, ये जो image बन रहा है, पहले केस में हम बोलेंगे real image is formed at the focus. दूसरे केस में virtual image is formed at the focus. किसी को बोलना है तो वैसा बोलेंगे. But yeah, the focus itself is an important point for the mirror. उसको real या virtual नहीं बोलते. All right. What other doubt was there on this? Anything else? Yeah, one of you said, do these rays have to be close to the axis? Yes, these rays have to be close to the axis. We'll always assume that. Henceforth, जो भी हम करेंगे, we'll only work with paraxial rays in which the rays will be close to the axis. All right. Now, keep aside anything that you have learnt in school. Keep aside everything that you've learnt in school. First focus, second focus का चर्चा अब है ही नहीं यहाँ पे. No one talks about. I don't even know why your school taught you that way. First focus, second focus. It's very simple. Concave mirror के लिए focus is defined this way, and concave mirror के लिए focus is in front of the mirror. Convex mirror के लिए focus is behind the mirror. That's the bottom line. These rays are parallel to the axis. They make zero angle with the axis. They are parallel and they are also close to the axis. वो तो assumption होगा ही, हमेशा close ही रखेंगे. जब दूर जाता है तब problems होता है. हमेशा अपने our optics is a simplified optics, where the rays will always be close to the axis. वो by default है. Alright, समझ में आया? Okay. So just go by the definitions I'm teaching. Just your school may have taught right things, may have taught wrong things. Let's just leave that aside. What you're now learning is ultimately what's important for your JEE. Alright? Okay. Again, you can find these definitions nicely mentioned in the HCV as well. All right, some more definitions. Focal length. So what is focal length? Quite straightforward. Focal length, it is the distance of the focus from the pole of the mirror. Simple सी बात है. Distance of focus from pole of the mirror. तो focus का mirror से कितना distance है, mirror के pole से कितना distance है, उसको बोलते हैं focal length. One more term, focal plane. It is the plane perpendicular to the principal axis passing through the focus. I hope you can visualize that in this diagram. It's a 3D diagram. An attempt to do that. This is your principal axis. Principal axis ke perpendicular plane. This plane will technically be coming towards you. If your principal axis is your x-axis, this will be like along your y and z. All right, so it's a plane perpendicular to the principal axis passing through the focus. See, just the plane that you should be aware of. That's it. Any doubt till this point? We've gone over the more important definitions. Okay. Now we are entering the main thing. Now this is sign convention. This is absolutely crucial. You have to follow this sign convention to use all the formulas that we are going to, you have to follow proper sign convention to use any formula we derive in this chapter. All right. So I'm going to start with the sign convention for a mirror. A very important idea. So what is the idea? First thing is, we're going to draw, this is how we label our axis. All right. So we're going to work with coordinates, a little bit of coordinate geometry. So first क्या चाहिए? पहले origin. Origin कहाँ पे बनेगा? Origin is always taken at the pole of the mirror. See, that center point over there, that's your origin. Origin is taken at the pole of the mirror. What else? X-axis is taken along the principal axis. अच्छी बात है ना? Horizontal रहेगा ये x-axis along the principal axis. But then इसका positive वाला direction का ध्यान दो. It is taken to be positive in the direction of the incident rays. अब incident rays mirror के case में किस direction में रहेगा? It can't be in that direction. तो mirror को hit ही नहीं करेगा. Incident means it has to hit the mirror. It has to fall on the mirror. So incident rays का direction has to be towards the mirror, has to be towards right in this case. अब जो भी direction में incident ray point करता है, that would be the direction of your positive axis. Absolutely, Parth. So Parth बोल रहा है कि अगर हम mirror को उल्टा draw करते थे, अगर मिरर को उल्टा ड्रॉ करते थे, जैसे कि लेट्स से आई ड्रॉ द सेम मिरर लाइक दिस, ऑलराइट, एंड आई नो कि कहां तक पहुंच गए हम लोग. एवरीवन हैज अंडरस्टूड टिल दिस पॉइंट कि एक्स एक्सिस इज अलोंग द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस. तुम्हें कौन सा डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव लेना है? जिस डायरेक्शन में इंसिडेंट रे जाएगा. अब इंसिडेंट रे लेफ्ट की तरफ जाएगा या राइट की तरफ जाएगा? टू हिट दिस मिरर लेफ्ट की तरफ जाएगा. तो जैसा इंसिडेंट रे लेफ्ट की तरफ जाता है, वैसे ही तुम्हारा एक्सिस लेफ्ट की तरफ पॉजिटिव होगा. ठीक, that will be your negative x-axis. In this scenario, incident ray will be going towards right. So in this case, right is my positive x-axis. ठीक, and ये समझ में आया? x-axis का बात समझ में आ गया? x-axis का बात समझ में आ गया? हाँ. All right. Upward direction is always taken as y-axis. I think that's fine. Y-axis is going to be this vertical one, and the upward direction is always taken as positive. वहां पे भी upward ही positive लेंगे. Got it? So in this case, all coordinates behind the mirror are going to be positive, and all x coordinates in front of the mirror are going to be negative. कोई नहीं समझा है? एक लास्ट टाइम बता रहा हूं. सिंपल सी बात है, डायरेक्शन का इतना ही देखना है. ये तुम्हारा मिरर है, ब्लू वाला मिरर देख लो, यहाँ पे देख लो. ये मिरर पे जब लाइट गिरेगा, इंसिडेंट रे का डायरेक्शन क्या होगा जब लाइट इस पे गिरेगा? इंसिडेंट रे को राइट की तरफ जाना पड़ेगा. जो डायरेक्शन में लाइट जाता है वही डायरेक्शन में हम पॉजिटिव एक्सिस लेंगे. दिस इज द रूल, दिस इज व्हाट वी फॉलो. नाउ यू गॉट इट. लाइट राइट की तरफ जा रहा था तो इस डायग्राम में राइट वाला डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव लिया. ऊपर वाले डायग्राम में लाइट लेफ्ट की तरफ जा रहा था, ऊपर वाले डायग्राम में लाइट लेफ्ट की तरफ जा रहा था, हमने लेफ्ट वाला डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव लिया. Tarun, I'll come to that also in a bit. कोई बोल रहा है कॉन्वेक्स, सेम स्टोरी बाबा. कॉन्वेक्स, ये मिरर को कॉन्वेक्स कर दो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. अल्टीमेटली लाइट ऐसे ही जाना पड़ेगा ना उसको. इट हैज टू फॉल ऑन द रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस. तो सेम मिरर अगर कॉन्वेक्स भी है, वही बात है. मिरर के पीछे पॉजिटिव एक्सिस बनेगा और मिरर के आगे नेगेटिव एक्सिस बनेगा. You'll see as we solve sums, we'll practice drawing these axes as well. कोई पूछ रहा है अगर मिरर ऐसा, कोई पूछ रहा है अगर मिरर, somebody is saying what if the mirror is like this? Somebody is saying mirror अगर ऐसा है तो. Simple idea, nothing to do with the reflected ray. Just see the direction of the incident ray. If the incident ray has to hit it, the incident ray has to go downwards. All right. So firstly, this becomes our pole. This downward direction becomes our positive x-axis. This direction becomes our negative x-axis. Y का जो पॉजिटिव लेना है वो तुम्हारे ऊपर है. Y का जो डायरेक्शन लेना है तुम्हें वो तुम्हारे ऊपर है. You could take this as positive y, you could take the other. उसका गारंटी I'm telling you फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. As long as you know कि what you're taking as positive or negative. X axis वाला साइन थोड़ा important है. Always take this in the direction of the incident ray. Clear? Parth, you're right, but you can be flexible with that as well. Okay. So now coming back to this. Yeah, incident ray ka direction will. Ayush, hold on. We are coming to that. Let me show you what the mirror formula looks like. And let's get the correct understanding of these terms. All right. So your mirror formula, we'll derive this as well. Derive भी कर लेंगे. पहला formula देख लेते हैं. Mirror formula is 1 upon V plus 1 upon U is 2 upon R, which is going to be equal to 1 upon F. This is the mirror formula, which we'll derive a couple of slides later. Derivation देख लेंगे. But now, first let's just understand the terms in this formula. तो V क्या है? सबसे पहले, अब loosely you will see textbooks tell you V is image distance taken with the sign. What on earth does this mean? Image distance taken with the sign. So according to me, the best way of describing what V is saying कि V is x coordinate of the image. V is image का x coordinate. अब image पॉजिटिव साइड पे बन सकता है या नेगेटिव साइड पे बन सकता है. जिधर भी इमेज बन रहा है, V इज इमेज का x कोऑर्डिनेट. V इज इमेज का x कोऑर्डिनेट. कुछ कंफ्यूजिंग नहीं है इसमें. V इज इमेज का x कोऑर्डिनेट. We are just defining terms. There shouldn't be anything confusing in this. फॉर्मूला डिराइव कर लेंगे. बट V क्या है वो समझो. V इज इमेज का x कोऑर्डिनेट. U क्या है? Object distance taken with the sign. That's again, what on earth does that mean? U is object का x coordinate. मैंने जो येलो में हाईलाइट किया ना, जो हाईलाइट किया वही चाहिए. V is image का एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट, u is ऑब्जेक्ट का एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट. अच्छा, समरी इज नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके, एक एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ. Let me just use some values. एक मिनट. Okay, so consider a mirror like this. Consider this point to be 1 meter on that side. Okay, and consider our object to be over here. ठीक, ये पॉइंट क्या है? ये पॉइंट मेरा सेंटर है, सेंटर. ठीक है, दिस पॉइंट इज माय सेंटर. यहाँ पे क्या है? यहाँ पे मेरा ऑब्जेक्ट है. ओके, नाउ one of you is asking, can I say v is distance of the image from the mirror? I would say no. क्यों? क्योंकि distance का मतलब हमेशा positive होता है. Distance is always a positive concept. हमेशा positive होगा distance. So rather I would say these are coordinates. अब देखो, ऑब्जेक्ट मान लो 3 मीटर दूर है, 3 मीटर दूर है ऑब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, तो इमेज कहां पे बनेगा? अब कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे इस क्वेश्चन को, ये समझ लो. What you will do is, in a question like this, you will first set up the axis. All right, I didn't want to touch at this stage, but let's just have a look at it now. तो पहले एक्सिस सेटअप करोगे कैसे? पहले मैंने पोल हाईलाइट किया, पोल बन गया ओरिजिन. फिर राइट की तरफ क्या बन गया? राइट की तरफ बन गया मेरा पॉजिटिव एक्स एक्सिस. लेफ्ट की तरफ क्या बनेगा? नेगेटिव एक्स एक्सिस. इसमें कोई शक नहीं, कोई डाउट नहीं. Yes, Ayush, you're right. Okay, now just look at this and only focus on the yellow highlighted definition. Okay, let's start with this. Let's start with u. U is x coordinate of object. Can you please tell me what u should be in this? Oops, what u should be in this diagram? If u is the x coordinate of the object, and clearly this seems to be the negative side, u is -3. खत्म ना, ये 3 मीटर पीछे है, तो u is -3. That's what this sign convention means. What does u mean? Object का x coordinate. आता है तुम्हें? You have done tougher things in coordinate geometry. Yeah? U is simple, -3. And अब तक image किधर है पता नहीं, वो देखेंगे image किधर है. But u is -3. And look at this definition. R is x coordinate of what? R is x coordinate of center of curvature. R is the x coordinate of the center of curvature. So what should R be? Somebody is saying 0. Pole, don't confuse between pole and center. Center udhar hai. Na? Center is 1 meter towards the right. +1. Very nice. Center ka coordinates hai +1. So R is +1. ठीक है, मीटर्स मीटर्स लिखना है, या अगर तुम्हें याद रहेगा मीटर्स है तो लिखो मत मीटर्स. ठीक है, तो R is +1, U is -3. समझ में आया? What is R? Look at the definition. R is x coordinate of the center. सेंटर का x coordinate क्या दिख रहा है इसमें? 1 ही तो दिख रहा है ना? क्लियर है? R is x coordinate of the center. समझ में आ रहा है? अब फॉर्मूला देखो, फॉर्मूला क्या देगा? 1/v प्लस 1/u. u क्या डालेंगे? Please stick to this case. Don't jump to the next case. Let's go a little slow for those who are struggling. Don't jump ahead. 1 by v plus 1 by u क्या है -3 is equal to 2 by r. Look at the formula, is equal to 2 by r. तो 2 by रेडियस कितना है +1. ठीक है, यहां से जस्ट रीअरेंज कर लो इसको, थोड़ा सा रीअरेंज कर लो, आ जाएगा 1 by, yes, some of you have already solved this. 1 by v is when I take -1 by 3 to that side becomes +1 by 3. So +1 by 3 plus 2, long story short, this becomes 7 by 3. 1 by v is 7 by 3. So v is 3 by 7. अब ये क्या है, ये पॉजिटिव आया, सही है. पॉजिटिव आने का मतलब कहां पे बन रहा होगा, राइट हैंड साइड या लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, पोल के राइट हैंड साइड पे बनेगा, बिकॉज v इज +7. somebody is stuck at 7 by 3. 1 by v was 7 by 3 बाबा, 7 by 3 का रेसिप्रोकल ले लिया तो v आ गया, v is 3 by 7. And because it's positive, because v is positive, we will say it is formed over here, somewhere on the positive side. ठीक है, what is v telling me? It's telling me coordinates of the image. Tarun, you can't say that. So just hold on. Can you stick with me on this? Now, where is the image formed? The image is formed on this side. It's formed behind the mirror. It's formed at a distance of 3 by 7. समझ में आ गया? We'll see. I didn't even want to start with this example. We are still seeing a few things. I'll come to what the other mirrors do. But this example was mainly to highlight what these terms mean. At least has everyone got what these terms mean at this stage? At least VUR samajh mein aaya? And I'll come back to F. But VUR samajh mein aaya? Okay, cool. All right, we'll see more examples. In the meanwhile, now I must mention this. Focus is where Ayush will come to the real and imaginary tags as well. थोड़ा एक मिनट रुको ना. We'll come to all that. Okay, एक मिनट सुन लो. Focus is where the image is formed. Focus is where the image is formed for incident parallel rays. Parallel rays means object कहाँ पे होगा? Object infinity पे होगा. Because remember, object का मतलब क्या है? जहां पे ये intersect करेंगे. So parallel lines actually don't intersect. Or you can say they will, now they may not seem to intersect. Maybe बहुत दूर कहीं ना कहीं हो सकता है they may intersect. So parallel rays technically means where is the object? It means the object is at infinity. All right. Now, ये देख लो. Let's say ये तुम्हारा ये क्या concave mirror ले लिया मैंने. A lot of you wanted to see what happens in a concave mirror. मैंने concave mirror लिया and concave mirror का center of curvature यहाँ पे है. ठीक है, mirror के आगे है and concave mirror का normal मैंने बस highlight किया है. Normal will actually be the radius. What is normal to a circle? The radius of the circle is normal to the circle, perpendicular to the circle. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? यहाँ पे ऐसा light ray आया, ये तुम्हारा perpendicular है, light came, bounced and then got reflected in this direction, obeying the laws of reflection. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. तो ये डायग्राम से हमें इतना समझ में आ रहा है कि फोकस कहीं ना कहीं सेंटर और पोल के बीच में बन रहा है. कहीं ना कहीं सेंटर और पोल के बीच में बन रहा है. बट वेयर एग्जैक्टली? सो लेट्स यूज दैट फॉर्मूला. Let's use the mirror formula to figure out where the image is formed, where the focus lies. So first and foremost, इस सिनारियो में u क्या लेंगे, ऑब्जेक्ट का कोऑर्डिनेट्स क्या लेंगे? Object is towards the left at infinity. My positive direction is behind the mirror. So we will take object as at minus infinity. And it's very far away in front of the mirror. So it's going to be at minus infinity. क्योंकि ये वाला डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव है. तो u को रख लिया माइनस इंफिनिटी. v को क्या रख रहा हूं? v को f रख रहा हूं. All right. B I'm not taking as positive, negative f. F itself is with the sign. V को क्या रखा है? X coordinate of the focus. ठीक है. V let the final image be formed. We know final image is formed at the focus. तो image का X coordinate is focus का X coordinate. ठीक है. F is X coordinate of the focus. Now let us just put it in the equation and see what we get. So when I put it in this equation, 1 upon V plus 1 upon u is 2 upon r, क्या बनता है? तो पहले तो v हो गया f, तो 1 upon v हो गया 1 upon f, फिर u हो गया माइनस इंफिनिटी, तो 1 upon u हो गया माइनस 1 upon इंफिनिटी, मतलब कितना? 0. 1 upon any large number, positive या negative, is going to tend to what? 0. 1 upon anything infinitely large is going to tend to what? It's going to tend to 0. तो बीच वाला टर्म कट गया. Is equal to 2 by r. क्या आ रहा है मुझे यहाँ पे? 1 upon f is 2 by r. If 1 upon f is 2 by r, f is r by 2. F is r by 2. All right. So what have I written over here? Somebody is saying this is focus, x coordinate of the focus. One of you is asking, मैंने minus sign क्यों नहीं लिया? Minus sign क्यों नहीं लिया? Because I am taking f itself with the sign. f खुद यहाँ पे negative होगा, क्योंकि f क्या है? x coordinate of the focus itself है. f already contains the sign. I have just said कि image focus पे बनेगा, तो image का coordinate को फोकस के कोऑर्डिनेट के बराबर रखो. ठीक है. और यहां से प्रूव हो गया f is r by 2. One last time, object is at minus infinity. Object is on the left hand side at infinity. So minus infinity हो गया. इमेज का कोऑर्डिनेट्स को फोकस के कोऑर्डिनेट्स के बराबर इक्वेट किया, इक्वेशन में डाला. 1 by f is 1 upon minus infinity which will become 0. ठीक है. एंड इसको इक्वल टू 2 by r कर लिया, तो f आ जाएगा इससे r by 2. f is at half the radius. All right. What is the conclusion with this? What are we getting with this? So यहाँ पे I am getting कि f का साइन और r का साइन, अमन एक मिनट, ठीक है, f का साइन एंड r का साइन एग्जैक्टली सेम है. तो दोनों का साइन एग्जैक्टली सेम है, मतलब क्या? फोकस इज फॉर्म्ड एट द सेम साइड एज द सेंटर. सेंटर नेगेटिव साइड पे है तो फोकस नेगेटिव साइड पे है, सेंटर पॉजिटिव साइड पे है तो फोकस पॉजिटिव साइड पे है. एंड फोकस कितना डिस्टेंस पे लाई करता है? आधे डिस्टेंस पे लाई करता है. आधा मतलब सेंटर और पोल के एग्जैक्ट मिड पॉइंट पे लाई करता है. सेंटर और पोल के एग्जैक्ट मिड पॉइंट पे फोकस लाई करता है. Got it? And one of you is asking, sir इसमें again पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव नहीं, V is F लिया मैंने, बस इतना ही फैक्ट लगाया कि इमेज कहां पे बन रहा है? इमेज फोकस पे बन रहा है. तो इमेज का एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट क्या होना चाहिए? जो भी फोकस का एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट होना चाहिए. F itself contains the sign, so I'm not worrying about the sign. यहाँ पे इस इक्वेशन में f and r are containing the sign. r नेगेटिव आ रहा है, f नेगेटिव आ रहा है. इनफैक्ट लेट मी जस्ट शो यू दैट ओवर हियर. ये देख लो, कॉनकेव मिरर में क्या होगा? कॉनकेव मिरर में हमने बोला कि फोकस इधर मिरर के आगे बनेगा, बट मिरर के आगे वाला साइड तो नेगेटिव हो गया ना. ये वाला डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव है, तो कॉन्केव मिरर में फोकस इज फॉर्म्ड एट द मिड पॉइंट ऑफ सेंटर एंड पोल, एंड इस केस में साफ साफ दिख रहा है कि R is negative and F will also be negative. So for a concave mirror, F and R that you substitute will be negative. समझ में आया? For a convex mirror, F and R that you will substitute will be positive because they lie on the positive side. समझ में आया? Any doubt in this? All right. One of you was telling me कि sir, concave mirror का focal length is negative or positive. To be honest, to be absolutely technical, focal length is actually distance. So someone who's being very technical will never say focal length negative है, क्योंकि length is always something positive. बस क्या बोल सकते हैं, वो बोल सकते हैं concave mirror का focal length 10 सेंटीमीटर है, तो तब तुम समझोगे कि अच्छा कॉन्केव मिरर का फोकल लेंथ 10 सेंटीमीटर है, मतलब f को -10 लेना है. और अगर कोई बोलेगा कॉन्वेक्स मिरर का फोकल लेंथ 10 सेंटीमीटर है, तब तुम समझेंगे अच्छा कॉन्वेक्स मिरर f पॉजिटिव होता है, तो इसको पॉजिटिव 10 लेना है. समझ में आ गया? So don't get carried away by that. Just because they have said focal length is 10 does not mean f has to be positive 10. F depends on the type of the mirror. Focal length normally वो हमेशा positive ही बोलेगा. क्यों? Because length is distance. Got it? Got what I'm trying to say? Similarly, अगर कोई बोलता है कि concave mirror का radius 20 है, तो just because radius 20 है, will you take R as positive 20? No, radius is a length. Radius 20 है. But what is this? A concave mirror. Concave mirror का coordinates, center का coordinates negative side पे lie करता है. R here is just the coordinate. So R will carry the sign. It lies on the left hand side, so R will be -20. ठीक है? Whereas convex mirror में same situation, R will be +20. ठीक है? I hope that's clear. Okay. All right. Now, with this, let's just quickly see the derivation. Derivation के पहले, I want to check with you guys whether you learned this. Some students may have seen this in calculus or vectors, but I am not sure if everyone has seen this. Did you learn कि when theta is very small, sine theta and tan theta and theta can approximately be considered the same? You've not learned of this concept? All right, fine. So I'll just teach you this. This is a very important idea in maths, जो physics काफी हद तक exploit करेगा. We'll use this a lot of times in physics. So let me explain what's going on. All right. पहले, let's focus. Let me just zoom in and focus on the main thing. Let's say this is a circular arc. Okay, what is AB? A circular arc. As you can see, these are the radii of that arc. Okay, radius is R. This is the center of the circular arc. All right. Now, by definition, everyone knows definition of angle in radians, arc length upon radius. पता है ना? हाँ. So theta क्या हो गया? Theta is AB divided by R. देख लो एक बार क्या बोल रहा हूँ. है? So theta is AB divided by R. See, hear me out and then check if what I'm saying is what you were thinking. So theta is AB divided by R, arc length by radius. Now, in this same diagram, मैंने क्या गिराया? मैंने एक A से perpendicular गिराया. I call that C. और B से एक perpendicular उठाया and I call that D. All right. And if from this diagram, if I talk about sine theta, then sine theta is going to be, what is the definition? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So sine theta, I will use this triangle. Perpendicular AC हो गया, hypotenuse R हो गया. Somebody may say कि I could have used the bigger triangle. I could have used the bigger triangle, but मैं जानबूझ के ऐसा कर रहा हूँ because I want to keep R in the denominator. If I keep the same thing in the denominator, things will be easier to analyze. So I'm taking sine theta, I've defined it as AC upon R. I'm keeping R in the denominator. All right, convince ki sine theta is AC upon R. From this triangle, sine theta is AC upon R. Similarly, tan theta. अब tan theta के लिए मैं बड़ा वाला triangle use कर रहा हूँ. Tan theta इस triangle के हिसाब से, can I say it is dB upon R? dB perpendicular upon base, dB divided by R. Why did I use the bigger triangle? जानबूझ के मुझे नीचे R डालना था. That's why I use the bigger triangle, so that I can compare easily. All right. कोई पूछ रहा tan theta, somebody is not sure कि tan theta में वो base R होने वाला है. This is R and this base is also R. So isn't tan theta exactly dB divided by R? Convinced कि tan theta is dB by R? ठीक है. अरे एग्जैक्टली आर है भाई, ये नीचे आर है, वो मेरा स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट था. ये नीचे आर है, वो ऊपर आर है. दिस इज अ सर्कुलर आर्क एंड वी आर नॉट स्टिकिंग टू वन ट्राइंगल. क्यों भाई? बिकॉज सो आई वांट टू मेक द डिनोमिनेटर द सेम. सिंपल फोरसाइट. साइन थीटा में मैंने, ये सही बात है कि टैन थीटा तुम ये भी लिख सकते हो. बिल्कुल सही है कि tan theta is AC upon R minus something. But I want to put R in the denominator. Then it's easier to compare these three terms. All right. So I'm the one making the proof over here. All right. I'm the one with the foresight. All you have to say is, am I doing something right or am I doing something wrong? I'm doing something right. कुछ गलत नहीं दिख रहा है इसमें, है ना? You have to just agree whether these terms are right or wrong. I think these terms are all right. अब क्यों कर रहे हैं दिखेगा आगे, but these are all right. Okay. In general, I think you can also see कि AC seems to be lesser than AB, seems to be lesser than DB, which is why, है ना, ये in general एक observation है. AC AB से कम है, DB से कम है. AC AB से कम है और AB DB से कम है. सेम चीज को अगर R से डिवाइड किया तो AC by R sin theta, AB by R theta और DB by R tan theta के बीच में ऐसा रिलेशन होगा कि sin theta theta से कम होता है और theta tan theta से कम होता है. And you find this to be true for acute angles. You always find this to be true for acute angles. Sine of 1 radian is less than 1, obviously. And tan of 1 radian is greater than 1. But now the point we are really concerned with is, imagine what happens if theta is very small. तो थीटा को ये बड़ा एंगल रखने के जगह एकदम ऐसा छोटा सा एंगल बना दिया, तब क्या होगा? Can you then see कि in that situation, can you see that this green line, this purple line over here is going to be AB, and then this vertical line is going to be AC, and then that is going to be DB. In fact, theta तुम जितना छोटा करोगे उतना छोटा ये उतना these three AC, AB and DB will become equal to each other. if theta is very, very small, if theta is infinitesimally small, do you see these three lines becoming equal to each other? है ना? AC इतना होगा, AB ऐसा होगा और DB ऐसा कुछ होगा. So they are all going to become very close. They're all going to become roughly the same length when theta is infinitesimally small. So when theta is infinitesimally small, AC, AB, DB all are the same. Now if they all are the same, if I divide all of them by R, what am I getting? I'm getting AC by R, AB by R and DB by R are roughly the same. यानी कि sin theta, theta and tan theta all are going to be roughly the same. All are going to be roughly the same when theta is very, very small. This is a very important point which is needed in physics. This is a very important point which we'll use many times in physics. So please remember this. Also, please remember that this theta is not angle in degrees, it's angle in radians. Why? At this step itself, we used it. यही पे ये formula सही होने के लिए theta has to be in radians. That is the definition of theta in radians. Yes, Sairam. So this point we are going to actually apply in the proof. यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया? No problem. Remember this, okay? Remember page 29. Not just for optics. Not just for optics. पूरा physics के लिए जरूरत है. ठीक है? Page 29. अच्छा. तो अपना एक बार proof देख लेते हैं. चलो, let's just see क्या है ये proof. है ना? So let's just look at the diagram. Alright, so let's just say कि I have, okay, listen carefully. I have my object placed over here. Now, एक चीज बता देता हूँ. Nobody is going to ask you the proof. Nobody can test this proof for you. हो सकता है boards में करना पड़े तुम्हें, but nobody is going to ask you this proof. This proof for us, however, is just for our own conceptual understanding, for us to understand sign convention and all of that. Okay? तो एक बार हमेशा एक बार proof revise करते वक्त एक बार हमेशा proof देख लो. The more you understand proofs, the better you will eventually get at physics. बाकी direct proof पे सवाल कभी आएगा नहीं. Alright? So let's say this is my object O, image I, center C. Quite straightforward. ठीक है? Center से जो ये line है, ये क्या होता है? ये normal होता है ना? The normal to a circle is the radius, and radius passes through the center. तो center से ये जाने वाला line अपना normal है. Now, O से जो ray जाता है, that bounces off point A, उसको मैंने A बोल दिया, and rebounds to point I. Obeying what? Obeying the laws of reflection, which is why this pink angle on this side and on this side both have to be the same. Hence दोनों को क्या नाम दिया? दोनों को नाम दिया थीटा. ठीक है? यहाँ पे इंसिडेंट रे का एंगल विद द एक्सिस को नाम दिया अल्फा, नॉर्मल का एंगल विद एक्सिस को नाम दिया बीटा, रिफ्लेक्टेड रे का एंगल विद एक्सिस को नाम दे दिया गामा. Alright, so we have these names alpha, beta, gamma. First and foremost, you have all studied this exterior angle law. Do you remember beta? Exterior angle should be sum of the other two interior angles. So beta should be alpha plus theta. याद है? हाँ, very nice. Similarly, इधर कहानी beta plus theta should be gamma. Gamma should be the sum of beta and theta. Exterior angle is sum of other two interior angles. तो यहां से आ जाएगा gamma is beta plus theta. तो beta is alpha plus theta, gamma is beta plus theta. समझ में आया? Yes, C is the center of curvature. अच्छा, ये समझ में आया? ये दो इक्वेशन है ना, एक्सटीरियर एंगल के लॉ से आया. उसके बाद क्या किया? उसके बाद हमने ये दो इक्वेशन सब्ट्रैक्ट किया. ठीक है, ऑरेंज सबट्रैक्टेड देम। क्यों सबट्रैक्ट किया? थीटा हटाना था। सबट्रैक्ट करते वक्त क्या आ जाएगा? लेफ्ट हैंड साइड बीटा माइनस गामा, राइट हैंड साइड अल्फा माइनस बीटा। ये आने के बाद इसको रीअरेंज किया, सिंपल स्टफ। बीटा लेफ्ट हैंड साइड लाया तो 2 बीटा बन गया, गामा को राइट हैंड साइड पे फेंका तो अल्फा प्लस गामा बन गया। सो व्हाट एम आई गेटिंग इज 2 बीटा इज अल्फा प्लस गामा। यस आयुष, दैट्स अ गुड ऑब्जर्वेशन, सही है। Nonetheless, 2 beta is alpha plus gamma. Now, have a note. Look at what I'm doing now. Now, we are going to assume that our rays are paraxial. So, if I assume that my rays are paraxial, that means alpha, beta, gamma are all very small. Some of you are saying they are in AP. Good observation. Not that we are going to use it over here, but it's just a good observation. Guys, class, I'll just quickly finish this proof and then we are done, okay? So proof jaldi, jitna jaldi ho jayega, utna jaldi class will get done. Okay? So alpha, beta, gamma, what we're going to use? The fact that they are small. If they are small, what can we say? We can say that angle is the same as sine of that angle. That angle is the same as tan of that angle. अपने ऊपर है क्या लेना है। अब यहाँ पे आई कैन शो यू कि tan लेने में थोड़ा फायदा है। तो मैं बीटा को क्या लिख रहा हूं? tan बीटा लिख रहा हूं। अल्फा को क्या लिख रहा हूं? tan अल्फा। गामा को क्या लिख रहा हूं? tan गामा। क्यों कर सकता हूं? बिकॉज एंगल्स आर स्मॉल। ये यहां तक समझ में आया? एंगल्स आर स्मॉल, रेज आर पैराक्सियल। ओके, नाउ tan बीटा फ्रॉम द डायग्राम, अब समझ में आएगा तुम्हें कि tan क्यों लिया है। सो tan इज परपेंडिकुलर अपॉन बेस, so tan beta is AB upon BC. Similarly, यहाँ पे लिखा AB upon BC. Similarly, tan alpha is AB upon BO. यहाँ पे लिखा AB upon BO. Similarly, tan gamma is AB upon BI. Alright? And यहाँ पे लिखा है AB upon BI. Now, obviously, you can see एक फायदा हुआ कि AB तीनों टर्म से गायब हो गया. So I get 2 upon BC is 1 upon BO plus 1 upon BI. Another thing we'll do is for paraxial rays, this point is going to be actually very close to the pole. So B is not very far away from the pole. That's another consequence of these rays being paraxial. B is very, very close to the pole. So because B is very close to the pole, BC, BI and BO के जगह क्या लिखेंगे? पोल से डिस्टेंस, PC, PO, PI, P being the pole. यहां तक समझ में आया? 2 upon PC is 1 upon PO plus 1 upon PI. और last thing now, last thing. PC तो लेंथ है, PC को पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए, बट R क्या है इस पर्टिकुलर सिनारियो में? R इज कोऑर्डिनेट। कोऑर्डिनेट तो नेगेटिव है बिकॉज इज ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, इज इन द नेगेटिव साइड। तो कोऑर्डिनेट नेगेटिव है बट पीसी क्या है? पीसी लेंथ है। तो कुछ नेगेटिव चीज को पॉजिटिव करने के लिए क्या करेंगे? सामने एक और माइनस साइन डालेंगे। Some of you are saying mod, but yeah, mod effectively does what to a negative thing? It places another minus sign on it. So PC is negative of R. PC is minus R. क्यों लिखा PC is minus R? सिंपल सी बात है, R नेगेटिव था, PC को पॉजिटिव करने के लिए एक और माइनस साइन डाल दिया। सेम चीज PI के साथ किया। You can totally see कि PI, sorry, PI is image का डिस्टेंस, बट PI is पॉजिटिव, बट V खुद नेगेटिव है, तो माइनस V करके इमेज का डिस्टेंस पॉजिटिव कर दिया, बिकॉज PI is लेंथ। सिमिलरली PO is दिस डिस्टेंस, ये भी लेंथ है, U खुद नेगेटिव है, एक और माइनस साइन डाल के PO को पॉजिटिव कर दिया। ऑलराइट, तो वहां से we just substitute PC as minus R, PO as minus U, PI as minus V, and sure enough, that minus sign also disappears, and wahan se we get this relation. All right. So in the end, is the derivation very important? Absolutely not. It's not very important. What is important is the formula. What is important is the formula. All right. But this is just to show you where this derivation is coming from. Why PC is negative? PC is not negative. This is on the negative side, so this coordinate is negative. And in fact, I'm putting another minus sign to make PC positive. ये डेरिवेशन का एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि एटलीस्ट तुम्हें इससे समझ में आता है कि ये पूरा पैराक्सियल रे का पॉइंट क्या है. At least conceptually you now understand कि this formula works under the assumption कि the rays are paraxial. All right. Those who want to leave can leave. Anu Geetika is asking how come too much of approximation is valid? That's the whole point. This is not going to be very this is not going to be real world mein, I mean, this is not always going to be exact. But to understand the real world scenario, we have to slowly build our knowledge. And right now, what is expected for you in 11th and 12th is to first work under these simplified formulas. And is pe mastery lana hai. All right? Cool. Guys, homework, guys, you can leave. ये page पे page 30 भी upload किया है. Please attempt it as homework. Okay? We will discuss this in the next class. Just read it. It's just trying to make you use the formulas. Please attempt it. We'll discuss it in the next class. All right, guys, you can leave. कोई पूछ रहा all the pages, they are already uploaded. Check it out. This is the drive. Seems like 2930 is not there. वो upload कर लेता हूँ. Tips for physics. See, honestly, physics is one of the more scoring subjects, I would say. I practically find chemistry and physics are subjects which are quite logical, which you can really, especially physics is a subject which is very logical. If you understand the concepts, core concepts, अगर समझोगे, derivation वगैरह भी थोड़ा बहुत समझोगे, कुछ से derive करना भी आता है तुम्हें चीजें, then you will find that you are going to be reasonably strong in physics. You solve questions, get a hang of it. My suggestion is तुम जब question solve करते हो ना, तुम try to say कि अच्छा ये question was this category. You try to say अच्छा ये pulley constraints था, अच्छा ये question ऐसा simple FVD वगैरह से बन रहा था, या ये question कुछ एक spring base सवाल था. So you can read a question and you can try to categorize it under different categories. When you do that, you'll realize that there aren't many different concepts. Every question is just a repetition of some basic concepts. And the more question types you see, you will eventually be able to solve almost any question that comes your way in physics. I wouldn't say that's the same with maths. But nonetheless, keep working on maths. But yeah, physics is actually quite dependable. You can rely on it. It's quite reliable. तुम मेहनत करो, concept समझो, sum solve करो. I wouldn't even say do 1,000 questions. Man, during my time, I didn't solve anything more than the HCV. But in the paper, I could solve any question of physics. That's because I spent so much time analyzing every question that I did. So you at home spend time analyzing the question, understand concepts on your own. Don't go through books and books. लोग पागल जैसा यार, कितने बच्चे 3-4 बुक उठा के 3-4 बुक सॉल्व करते हैं, पेपर में कुछ नहीं करते हैं. क्यों? दे आर जस्ट सॉल्विंग सम्स वन आफ्टर द अदर. कहाँ बैठ के एनालाइज कर रहे हैं, क्या अंडरलाइन कंसेप्ट है. उल्टा मुझे लगता है यार एक बार कंसेप्ट समझ में आ गया, कहाँ जरूरत है इतना सम सॉल्व करने का. So analyze what you do. That's my advice for physics. Alright. Face देखना था यार. I'll show you my face next time. Alright. Bye guys. Reference book for physics. Reference book तुम्हें नाम बता देता हूँ books का. Come on, चलो. See, I'll tell you what HCV एक book है. HCV is a good. I mean, that's all I used during my time. Now, of course, these you also have books like the one book is DC Pandey, another is Cengage, and then there is your booklet. If you heard what I just said, then you would be smart and you will not sit solving all four. You don't need to solve all four. Rather, whatever you solve, even if you solve the booklet, is fine. Whatever you solve, learn from that. And as you're mentioning, yes, there is Irodov as well. Okay, this is not a JEE oriented book. This is a higher level book, but it has some good sums. And to be honest, all these good sums have been copied into these books. So my suggestion is तुम करना है तो बुकलेट कर लो. एंड बुकलेट हो गया, बुकलेट का हर क्वेश्चन समझ में आया है, फिर बाद में एक्स्ट्रा बुक चाहिए करने को, तो देन यू हैव दीज थ्री एज एन ऑप्शन. इनमें से डिफरेंट बुक्स हैव डिफरेंट एडवांटेजेस. आई कांट गिव अ स्टैंडर्ड रूल. डिफरेंट पीपल प्रेफर डिफरेंट थिंग्स. इसमें सॉल्व्ड एग्जांपल्स है. दीज गाइज हैव सॉल्व्ड एग्जांपल्स. तो अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि देयर इज सम कंसेप्ट जो बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आया, open that, start solving some solved examples, and you will get a grasp on the chapter. That's what I had done during my time. I had DC Pandey, couple of chapters जो समझ में नहीं आया, थोड़ा solved examples देखा DC Pandey से और समझ में आ गया. Alright, so it's good to have a bunch of these books. हो सकता है mechanics के लिए you may like something. हो सकता है electromagnetics के लिए you may like something else. It's good to have a bunch of books, but don't sit solving everything. All right. One more book other than booklet is required for good practice is your question. I would say not necessarily. Not necessarily. Practice, this is more than enough, in my opinion. But then for theory, I feel if you feel like you're someone who needs to read theory, then theory is written well in either the HCV, yeah, in one of these two books. In fact, these two books do a lot of spoon feeding. वो direct text में ही पूरा theory अच्छे तरीके से बताता है. So this may work for you. You can check it out. Perhaps you may like working with these books more than the booklet. Somebody may like working with the booklet. And कोई पूछ रहा है कि am I kidding? बाबा मैंने क्या लगता है मेरे टाइम पे मैंने सॉल्व क्या किया, इतना ही सॉल्व किया. देखा है थोड़ा बहुत Rodov, solved examples थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ से किया. I'm not from PACE, so there was no booklet for me. All I've done is the HCV. All the good students used to do earlier was the HCV. 45 questions per chapter. और कितना चाहिए यार, उससे समझो जितना चैप्टर में. Again, I'm saying it's not like maths. You can really learn a lot from fewer questions. Just try to gather your thoughts and try to not overlook anything. Question everything, try to understand everything. That is my suggestion. ठीक है? I hope all doubts are answered. एक class क्या है? Sir, how to learn from... अच्छा. During class, I get answers fast, but test में blank हो जाते हैं. I think the more वो हो जाएगा, maybe just make sure you are not making any wrong. Don't be in a hurry to solve sums even at home. Even at home, once you solve sums, try to focus on the real reasoning behind why you got the answer. Try to think how would I have answered. ये कैसे चमकता है मुझे कि ये मेथड करना है, वैसे सोचो. क्वेश्चन में what gives me a hint कि I have to use this concept. Think about those things. And you'll find the more you think about this, the less blank you'll start getting in the exam. हर question when you solve at home, think ये मुझे exam में कैसे strike करेगा. So try to see what would be an optimal path, optimum path to reach the reasoning behind the question. you'll figure it out. ठीक है, different people's brain works in different ways, but make sure फिजिक्स में एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, मेक श्योर जो भी कर रहे हो, जो भी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे हो, मेक श्योर तुम उसको अच्छे से एनालाइज करके समझते हो. ट्राई टू परस्यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड you'll automatically get quite strong in physics. All right. Okay. Chalo. Bye bye. Happy Diwali and bye. Bye.